Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The future of the UW-Oshkosh Fox Cities campus in question tonight after an agreement between Winnebago and Outagamie counties fell through.
We first alerted you the UW-O administration announced its decision last summer to close the campus soon due to financial challenges and some declining enrollment there. Samantha Cavalli spoke with both county executives about the decision to halt the agreement. She's live now in our Fox Valley newsroom to share what she's learned. Samantha.
Right, Cammie and Bill, it's been talked about for months behind the scenes about what to do with the campus once it closes its doors on June 30th. Now, the plans that were close to being finalized have been stalled.
Let's figure out what the
Winnebago County Executive John Damel left confused Wednesday after a deal between them and Outagamie County over the UW-O Fox Cities campus fell through Tuesday evening. The Outagamie County Property Committee voted to have 3 separate appraisals of the 43-acre property to get a better understanding of its value. Damel says this may not be the best course of action.
I thought we were closer to an agreement than we were. I certainly was okay with it, but it's a different perspective from them and Outagamie County residents, and I have to respect that.
For 60 years, the property has been co-owned by the counties and is led by a joint committee. The agreement including a potential collaboration with the Menasha Joint School District to convert the campus into child care spaces to address current needs. Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson tells me the county needs more time before proceeding with the sale, making sure they are getting the best use out of the facility and it's in the best interest of taxpayers.
And so whatever shape that might take, we want to have as many options on the table.
With both Nelson and Damel being alumni of UW-O Fox Cities, they just want to see what's best for the campus.
If this means that we take a few more weeks, a few more months, we want to do our due diligence to make sure that we are in fact making the right decision.
So anything that I can do to give back to something that was an integral part of who I am today, I'm willing to do that.
Now, both county executives have been working closely with the Menasha Joint School District Superintendent on a proposal. Each county's board will need to approve that proposal before the school board votes on the proposal's final approval. Reporting live in the Fox Valley newsroom, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.